Hello, this is Michael Devlin with the Michael Devlin Group. I'm a real estate broker, and I teach people how to get a real estate license and how to be successful in real estate. And I put together this video because I get asked a lot, can I get a real estate license if I've had a DUI? Can I get a real estate license if I've been convicted of any crime, shoplifting, DUI, anything like that? And the law has changed substantially. A new law went into effect July of 2020, which makes it a lot easier for the 8 million or so Californians with a criminal history to obtain not only a real estate license, but a license from any state agency that issues licenses in the state of California. Now, we're going to cover what those changes are, what kinds of crimes you could be denied a license for committing, how will they know that you've got a criminal history, how long ago, does it matter that your record was expunged? Does it matter how long ago it was? We're going to cover all that. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell so that you're notified of future videos that I have coming up. I have a series that would help people either get into real estate or be successful once they're in the business. All right, let's take a look at what the issues are when you're trying to get a real estate license in the state of California or any license from the state of California, and you have a DUI or a shoplifting or some criminal history. First of all, how are they going to know? And the short answer is they're going to make you have your fingerprints taken, have your fingerprints submitted through what's called live scan to the Department of Justice, and in about 4 to 6 weeks, that'll be done and sent to the Department of Real Estate. It's going to require that you go to what's called a live scan operator. That's not as difficult as it sounds. Postal annexes and UPS stores, there are a lot of places that do this. It's $49 for the processing fee, plus the live scan operator is going to charge maybe 50 bucks, something like that, maybe less. So sometimes 70 to 80 to $90 is what the cost is to have your fingerprints taken. So now the Department of Real Estate has seen your criminal record. So the law has changed substantially recently. Now, the law that was changed actually was changed back in September of 2018, but that change did not go into effect until July of 2020. And the law was designed to make it easier for people in California, the nearly 8 million or so California workers who have some criminal history, to allow them to actually get a license from the state of California. So it's easier. The law is called AB 2138. And one of the big things it does is it has a 7-year washout period. So in the past, the Department of Real Estate and other state licensing agencies would be denying people licenses for misdemeanors that occurred 12, 14 years ago. They can't do that anymore. It also requires the Department of Real Estate and other state agencies to consider factors in rehabilitation, which they really didn't have to before. So the new rules say that in order for a state agency to deny you a license because of a criminal conviction, that conviction has to be substantially related to the purpose for which the license is being issued. And that's in addition to it being within 7 years. Then if it's older than 7 years, but it's a special conviction, like serious felonies, convictions regarding sex offenders or financial crimes and other kinds of business crimes, they can consider those for more than 7 years. But other than those crimes, they can only look at things that have happened in the last 7 years, and only those things that are substantially related to the business for which the license is being offered. They also are required to consider rehabilitation, which means you can prove you're rehabilitated or got a certificate of rehabilitation or a clemency or a pardon. But it also, and this is probably more meaningful, it includes dismissals and expungements. Now, some people aren't aware of the expungement process, but if you were convicted of a DUI back in 2003, let's just say, and you got your license, your record expunged, which by the way is a lot easier than you might think, the actual form that you get doesn't usually say expunged, it says dismissed. And what was causing issues is that when your license or when your convictions have been expunged or dismissed, you're told that they're dismissed and that it's like gone. And when you apply for a job and they ask you, have you ever been convicted of a crime? You can say no, because it's been dismissed. But that didn't work with the Department of Real Estate. So what would happen is that people wouldn't write down that they had been convicted of a crime because it was expunged, it was dismissed, and it was a long time ago. And the Department of Real Estate would say, aha, we caught you lying on the application, and we're not going to give you a license, even though we really don't care about what it was you did 10 or 12 years ago. That's been changed, right? If your license has been dismissed, I mean, your convictions have been dismissed or expunged, they can't use that conviction to deny you a license. They can't deny you a license just because you've been arrested. They used to ask about arrests. They used to say, well, if you're being arrested a lot, you're probably doing something wrong. They can't do that anymore. But they still have the rule that says you can't make a false statement. But they've added to it. It says a board shall not deny a license based solely on an applicant's failure to disclose a fact that would not have been cause for denial of the license had it been disclosed. That's what they were doing. They can't do it anymore. So they've changed the questions that they ask when you apply for the license. This is what the old form used to look like. I've highlighted the two really bad segments. In paragraph 32, they asked, have you ever been convicted, ever, of any violation of the law, right? And so even if you forgot about something because it happened in the 80s and 90s and it was easy to forget about things, even if that were true, the Department of Real Estate would say, oh, well, we're still going to consider it. Now, the new form, notice it's missing that part. It no longer is asking you for any conviction of any time. We want to see the list. It doesn't do that anymore. It only asks about those things that they consider to be really bad and that they could deny you a license no matter how long ago it was. The sex offender, the financial crimes, that sort of thing. Now, the Department of Real Estate, you understand, will be getting a fingerprint report. And there might be something even within the last 7 years that they may want to argue about. But they don't ask about it anymore. And I know that there's a section down below where you can say explain. Don't explain unless you've checked yes to one of these boxes. Don't volunteer. Oh, by the way, in 2009, I had a don't, right? Just don't answer the questions. They're going to get a fingerprint report. They can figure out if they want you to have a license. Don't volunteer anything. They don't ask as many questions anymore because they were playing gotcha, right? Because you would miss something, you wouldn't list something, and then they would deny you a license. Not because that was a big deal, but because you didn't list it. They can't do that anymore. It's a lot easier to get a real estate license in California with a criminal history. Now, I want to say I'm not a lawyer, and this is not legal advice. If you've actually got an interesting issue and you would like to talk to a real lawyer who specializes in Department of Real Estate or those kind of licensing issues, particularly with criminal backgrounds, leave me a comment. By the way, if you like the video, leave me a comment. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button just so that you won't miss out on any future videos I do.